There's a lot of dark secrets to uncover in the Outer Worlds, most often a plot or scheme conducted by those affiliated with the board. But of all the secrets you can read on terminals, uncover through dialogue options, or simply explore by playing through the main story, it's not too often that you actually see some of the truly disturbing happenings with your own eyes. In this video, we will be. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome to FudgeMuppet. Today we're going to be taking a journey to one of the most horrific areas of the nicest area in the Halcyon system, or the richest at least, Byzantium. Byzantium is the capital city of Terra 2 and is home to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation headquarters. Here, Byzantium's richest and most successful citizens live their lives, gated away from outside threat and the more physical stresses of galaxy life. Everyone wishes they could live in this gilded city of the well-to-do, and while it definitely appears more beautiful than other cities, there's more red tape than you can imagine and some very sinister energy beneath the surface. It also seems a bit boring. Outside of the Prosperity Plaza, where all the commerce and culture is, it doesn't seem like there's that much to see or anything that exciting to do. Buying clothes and drinking has to get old eventually, right? Or maybe they'd just say I'm jealous because I have to spend more of my time in places like Stellar Bay and Edgewater. Interestingly, while Byzantium is very well maintained compared to other cities in the game, you still see that there's damaged walls here and there on the outside, and you can pick up a vibe that there may be a bigger strain than meets the eye, at least behind the facade of all the flashing lights and lavish architecture they've spent so many bits on. It also seems that income inequality is kind of big even in Byzantium, with the richest having buildings in the Acropolis district and other citizens living elsewhere. Not everyone can live like a king or queen, unless of course they're lucky enough to win the early retirement lottery. Byzantium has robots for many upkeep purposes, but still requires workers for other things who definitely wouldn't be paid enough to be mega rich. Take postal office employees, maintenance workers, or bookkeepers as examples. These folks would be begging to win such a lottery, to ascend to the ranks of their cashed out overlords. Then again, the early retirement lottery is open to all, and it seems to revolve more around giving others from outside of Byzantium a chance to live there. Many of the citizens who already live in the city have more money than they could possibly need, and almost everyone wants to keep the riffraff out. Due to this, only individuals with the appropriate nav key can land in the docking bays. Luckily for us, we'll be getting our hands on such a nav key and take our undesirable vagrant squad for a frolic through the streets, overhearing an irritable woman by the name of Hortense Inglesby. She is complaining to a guard that her fair city is being overrun by a pox of vagrants and undesirables while they sit by and do nothing about it. This woman may not know it, but she's about to send us to uncover one of the darkest secrets in Byzantium, a place hidden behind locked doors, an exclusive district for a very special few, perhaps even better than the Acropolis district. Inglesby demands a lot of the security officer.
And what would you have me do exactly?
I don't know. Something. Anything. You're the security expert. Secure the situation.
Ma'am, again, Byzantium is perfectly secure. You're under the watchful eye of UDL security.
Yes, you've said the slogan. I don't need to hear the slogan. I need to hear, yes, Miss Inglesby, I will personally hunt down these hooligans with my excessively large firearm.
Ma'am, you know I can't.
Oh, you're useless. All of you. Utterly and completely useless.
Then her scornful eyes turn to you. Yes, you. She can see the dirt falling off your boots and just knows you've done your fair share of bullet dodging and head smashing.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of him?
For the last time, access to Byzantium is impossible without a proper nav key. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to be somewhere else. Anywhere else.
And so the corporate trooper marches off, happy to leave you next to the very flustered and angry Miss Inglesby. Let's have a chat with her, learn who she is and what she's so upset about. Maybe we can help.
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
I must be honest with you, Captain. Yes.
Well, whatever you call it, do it elsewhere, and take your merry band with you. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness. I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see. I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse. The worst thing to happen to Halcyon, a contest that gives even the lowliest, most inefficient workers a chance to live in Byzantium. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair? It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so? I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs.
So being the filthy capitalist my build is, I take the promise of some cold hard bits and decide to help an ungrateful, entitled, delusional hypocrite to investigate the possibility of there being even more wealth she's missing out on. It's a very fascinating concept, isn't it? The idea of a lottery you can win where instead of receiving a large sum of money or a valuable item, you actually get a luxury service for the rest of your life. The Early Retirement District, a place so beautiful and well kept that you never have to stress about any problems again. I'll tell you right now, that part is not a lie. A winner of this lottery will really have no stresses on their mind a short while after they've arrived in their special, exclusive district where all the other winners are. With even the richest in the city not allowed to go there, you can understand why it would frustrate someone who thinks they're entitled to all the wealth they inherited by doing nothing. This lottery extends the opportunity to low-earning workers across the entire Halcyon system, seeming to create an even playing field, so even those without as much wealth and potentially who are very incompetent at their job could be bearing fruits they do not deserve, as Inglesby would say. The entrance to the retirement district near the city's landing pad doesn't look particularly appealing. There are walls falling apart, very bland aesthetics, a storeroom to the left, and an oddly large number of cans and bottles can be found littered all over the floor. I mean, maybe they booze winners up before sending them in happily, or maybe the guards on shift don't have a bin and they just toss their rubbish all over the place. I found the amount of rubbish very strange. There's not a whole lot to see here. The storage room looks just as run down as the entrance with cracking walls, and even the lights showing the path to the rest of Byzantium City do not extend down this way. Two guards can be found having a chat about all the lottery winners though.
That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or are we getting more and more retirees lately?
Not just you. Felt like a damn factory worker these last few months. Oh well. Nothing a few drinks won't cure. Come on, let's go hit up Bijou's.
Can't. They're closed. Someone saw a sprat in there.
Bijou's too? Damn. What's this city coming to?
So it turns out they're getting more and more of them recently, which is weird because in theory it must be very expensive to tend to the every need of every winner. Their conversation also seems to conjure up this vibe that Byzantium may be under more stress than others might realize. Heading into the control room, we gain access to the terminal and unlock the sealed door to the early retirement district. It's time to see what all the fuss is about. I'll let you enjoy the beauty of the next room while the intercom explains what life will be like in the retirement district.
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 Furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not go for a bite at one of our many restaurants, like CNP's Blazing Borscht Barbecue or Rizzo's All-You-Can-Crunch Cereal Buffet? Or maybe you'd like to head to the bar and enjoy an ice-cold Zero-G Brew by Spacer's Choice. Zero-G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you, although in the early retirement district, nothing will. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit. So relax, grab a refreshment from one of our vending machines, and enjoy our specially constructed welcome center. While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process. Then, once you're ready, enter the elevator at the end of the hall and leave your troubles behind. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Today is the first day of your early retirement. Congratulations. Well,
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? The polished floors, golden railings, beautiful stained glass windows, water with lily pads and wacky lights. There's even functional vending machines so they can make some final bits from you before they pay for your every desire for the rest of your life, apparently. Up the golden patterned stairs, you'll find exquisite blue marble pillars with golden trim. You'll find that system laid out decoratively on the floor, part of a galaxy-esque display with colored light bulbs dangling from the ceiling and giant planets perched atop jagged podiums. There's a terminal in this room which we need to use to authorize consent for entering the early retirement district. But first, let's have a read of the 6 different displays which tell us a bit more about the early retirement program. Fun fact 1, you're special. Each month, hundreds of thousands of workers apply to the early retirement program from across the Halcyon system. This doesn't just include workers on Terra 2, but those who live on Groundbreaker or Hephaestus as well. Even after weeding out undesirables or unqualified candidates, only 2.3% of these entrants are selected for early retirement. I sure hope you bragged to your neighbors before you left. Way to overcome the odds, champ. I like hearing Hephaestus mentioned as a place people live, as we never got to visit there in the game, and I'm hoping it could feature in DLC. Now let's move on to fun fact number 2. Did you know the early retirement selection system is the most rigorous cutting-edge lottery system in the entire galaxy? Here's how it works. Each candidate's name is printed on a plastic ball. The plastic ball is placed in an advanced turbo encabulator with thousands of others. A team of advanced automechanicals operate a complex series of pulleys at random. The balls are funneled through the turbo encabulator into an inserosita tube. They are then launched at a specially designed accuracy matrix. The first ball that aligns with the center of the accuracy matrix is the winner for the day. By using this method, the Halcyon Holdings Corporation ensures that all early retirees are selected with complete impartiality and minimal collateral damage. Fun fact 3. We're sure that you all had a wonderful time completing your early retirement application forms, but we know that even something like paperwork can get a little old after 87 pages. Fortunately, we're pleased to inform you that your hard work was all worth it. By knowing details like your shoe size, blood type, and dental history, we can properly customize your early retirement just for you. Every detail will be tweaked and adjusted to fit your unique needs, just like how Hammersmith weapons are built to fit each customer's personal style of combat. What you want, Hammersmith. It's hard to believe that at this stage in the early retiree's life, they're still being advertised to. Fun fact 4. The Early Retirement Center is the safest place in the entire system. Not a single crime has been committed within its walls since its construction. Wow. This is all thanks to the hard work of the men and women in black and white, Universal Defense Logistics. Each and every day, UDL security protects the citizens of Byzantium, shielding them from harm. No dissidents run wild under their watch. So rest easy, early retirees. You're under the watchful eye of UDL security. Whether you're out and about or relaxing at home, UDL is watching you. Fun fact 5, here in Byzantium, auto mechanicals will make your life cleaner, easier, and more efficient. Just as they do in the rest of the city, teams of auto mechanicals regularly sweep through the streets of the early retirement district to give it that classic Byzantium sheen. But that's not all, they'll attend to your personal needs as well. Want to order a drink? They'll bring one right to your table. Make a mess in your new penthouse? They'll clean it up for you. Why, they'll even carry your luggage once it has been cleared by security and released from our customs warehouse, of course. So if you see 700 pounds of steel lumbering towards you, don't panic. You probably just dropped one of your Happy Dale Farms woolly curds. Whoops, don't worry, I'm sure it's still good. Fun fact 6, the early retirement program is the personal brainchild of Minister of Earth, Aloysius Clark, endorsed by Chairman Charles Rockwell. Minister Clark and Chairman Rockwell share a vision that every worker in Halcyon has a fair chance to experience the beauty and luxury of Byzantium. So before you step onto that elevator and embrace your retirement, remember to say, "Thank you, Minister Clark. You wouldn't be here without him." Alright, we really should make our way to the terminal at the end so we can get to the elevator. First, there's a consent form, the final barricade of processing and formality after a lifetime of putting up with it, for a Halcyon citizen at least. It says, "Welcome to the HHC Early Retirement Center. Before beginning your new life in Byzantium, our safety regulations require you to consent to the following. You, hereinafter referred to as the employee, consent to the rules and regulations of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center, hereinafter referred to as the Center. The employee confirms that they have read and understand the rules of the Center as written in Article 3, Section 5, Clause 27 of the Early Retirement Welcome Packet. The employee also confirms that they received this packet en route to the Center. In the unlikely event of injury, death, or the loss of personal items, the employee assumes all liability for the incident. The Halcyon Holdings Corporation and its subsidiaries bear no responsibility for the incident and offer no compensation. Should the Center recover any lost or stolen goods, the employee must retrieve them within 48 hours or their goods will be forfeit. If the employee is having second thoughts about living out the rest of their lives in unparalleled luxury, then they may exit this terminal and return to the Center's landing bay. There the employee may turn in their winning early retirement ticket and await the next outbound transport. Don't worry, that ticket won't go to waste. It will be given to another deserving worker to keep the Center's inbound population at ideal levels. Otherwise, if the employee is ready to begin the final leg of their early retirement journey and enjoy all the Center has to offer, please select I consent. I guess it's time to relax, grab a refreshment from one of the vending machines and enter the elevator, leaving our troubles behind. Oh, and thank you, Minister Clark. You'll notice that as we head through the doors, they seal behind us, unable to be opened again. But no worries, right? Because it doesn't seem like anyone has ever wanted to leave this amazing early retirement center. As we descend further and further down the elevator, things aren't looking so glossy anymore, and the music fades out with an eerie honk. Welcome to Early Retirement. Here we come face to face with some of the most disturbing scenes in the outer worlds, hidden right under the noses of the Byzantium citizens. The early retirement district is nothing to be jealous of. It's a place where people are sent to die, which one can only assume is done to help control the population of the Halcyon system, and very likely targets the most inefficient workers on purpose, killing them off and saving resources for more productive people in the process. I mean, think about all the information they had to fill out for the lottery. Surely productivity numbers would be part of all those pages, and then I'd imagine other details could be used to really sift out the most unproductive members of society. For example, if you had, say, 100 contestants left who still weren't winners, and you had to pick out a few, and imagine they all had the same low productivity numbers, you could pick the winners based on those random things like shoe size and blood type. Maybe one of them has a rare blood type, so in the event of emergency, they're going to be harder or costlier to save, or maybe one of them has a very large shoe size that is never stocked and therefore spends less money on shoes, or making shoes for these large-footed people is more expensive because such shoes are not bought in bulk as much. I mean, I'm just speculating in a very absurd way, but the funny thing is that I wouldn't put it past the board to be so meticulous based on everything they asked for and all the crazy amounts of detail all their paperwork requires. You can see dead bodies all over the place in the district, which are quite fresh, and then lots of older bodies which are now nothing more than skeletons. From the looks of it, many of the skeletons have been ground up into bone meal and swept into the corners. Automechanicals help clean up the blood with their water spraying, and other robots, as you can see, are used to kill the winners. There's even the very large automechanicals ready for anyone strong enough to defeat the others, although I assume normal winners aren't armed, so it's definitely overkill with how many death machines they've got going down here. If their stats are to be believed, out of hundreds of thousands of applicants per month, 2.3% of them win? Let's be modest and assume hundreds of thousands means 200,000. It could be 500,000 for all we know, but 200,000 would mean 4,600 people a month are sent here. There's a solid chance these stats are all a lie, but either way, with the guards out the front saying they've been seeing increasing volumes and feel like factory workers, I'm not surprised. Furthermore, 2.3% chance to win a lottery is a massive chance. It means you have slightly more than 1 in 50 chance of winning. It's almost as if the Halcyon Holdings Corporation wants lots of people to win. Well, of course they do. Without spoiling much, there's no surprise they're trying to reduce population levels as much as they can. After killing all the robots, you find a terminal to unseal a maintenance exit hatch, allowing you to escape. It says, "Note, due to the nature of their assignment, automechanicals in the HHC Early Retirement Center were not constructed with a standard maintenance mode or IFF transmitter responder. You'll be pleased to know that this saved 200 bits per unit, but please note that any injuries sustained during routine repairs will come out of your paycheck. Thanks for being part of the UDL team." This seems like a great legal cover, and if you remember the consent form back in the halls where everything was glittery and gold, you've legally let everyone involved off the hook anyway. While escaping out of the maintenance area, you can find a unique plasma cutter called the ionized paper knife in one of the rooms. It has a beautiful sparkle coming off of it, and unlike a normal plasma cutter, it seems like you can swing it unlimited times. So instead of 3 or 4 swings and then a pause, you can just keep doing it over and over again, so I really like it. After getting back into the streets, heading back to Inglesby gives you the option to tell her what you found. You can tell her the truth, or you can tell her it's actually a paradise. Funnily enough, if you go back to the retirement district later, you'll find her body there. Although she seems to have lost the makeup and she has a completely different hairstyle, I'd assume it's probably a development mistake, but we'll just have to pretend she was wearing a wig to go along with the makeup she had on before, and for some reason took it off before heading there. Robots of a browner, redder color have also respawned, which have been used to kill her, and so Inglesby is slain by our misdirection and her greed, and of course a highly concentrated amount of robotic firepower, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Byzantium's very dark, very secret area, a promise of luxury used to lure unfortunate lottery entrants to their death. Perhaps it's even efficient to kill off workers who even think they would rather quit and live a better life served to them by Lady Luck. Who knows just how deep the board's reasoning goes. Either way, I think it's definitely a safe bet to say that it helps them to manage population levels. Among their fun facts, it was even stated that if you didn't want your ticket, it would be given to someone else in order to keep the early retirement's inbound population at ideal levels. Not existing population levels, just inbound levels, because as we discovered, there is no existing population. Thank you so much for watching the video all the way through. If you enjoyed it, please let me know what you want to see next in the comments below, and click the like button if you'd like to help support FudgeMuppet. We've got more Outer Worlds content coming your way. Social media links are in the description. My name is Michael, and I look forward to nerding out with you again very soon.